Every time. It's absolutely delicious. You get that. It's making my mouth water. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name's Diana, and we discuss eating a gluten-free, vegan, plant-based lifestyle while sometimes tracking my weight loss journey. But in today's video, I wanted to make for you my absolute all-time favorite dinner. I could eat this every night, and sometimes I do. It's gonna be high in protein, high in fats, and just absolutely delicious. So let's get into it. Okay, so you might have seen in one of my other videos. If you haven't already, go check it out. But I show you how to make my tahini sauce. It's pretty basic ingredients. It's just fresh garlic. This tahini, I love this brand specifically. A little lemon juice, either fresh lemon or you can do real lemon out of the bottle. And then I just mix it in here with lots of water to thin it out, and salt. And then I also take firm tofu. This is one of my favorites, the 365 Whole Foods brand. The extra firm will work too. Make sure your tofu is always organic. And I either use Primal Kitchen's buffalo sauce, thank God they don't use cashews anymore, or I use Trader Joe's Peri Peri to marinate it. I'm also going to lightly dredge it in some cornstarch so it has like a crustier texture to it in the air fryer. And I'm just pretty much gonna cook that in the air fryer. As far as veggies go, I usually buy a big bag of broccoli, organic of course from Costco. I'm gonna cut up some broccoli. And I usually do shiitake mushrooms just mainly because they seem to last longer than baby bellas. I don't know. I usually am going for a bell pepper to go with the broccoli to bring out that, I believe it's vitamin A. Tonight though, I wanted to mix it up a little, and we're actually gonna do some sun-dried tomatoes. So to give it a little pop of color. So I'll be back. I'm actually going to work on, I have some water boiling over here. So I have some water boiling over here. We're gonna use my favorite pasta, of course. You can find this at most grocery stores. They have it at Whole Foods as well. I love it because it's quinoa, amaranth, and rice. It's organic. It's got turmeric in it. It's one of my favorite pastas, and I love penne. It's one of my favorite types of pastas. So we're gonna heat this up, get that cooked. I'll get the veggies in the air fryer. I'll get the sauce made, and then eventually I'll add the tofu to the air fryer. And then I'll see you once the dish is complete. I'm not gonna show you every step because it's pretty basic, guys. You're just gonna cut your vegetables, and then I just toss a little oil and salt and air fry them. The tahini sauce, I'll show you what it looks like once it comes out, and then the tofu as well. And then I'll just show you what it looks like all together, and I have a little surprise we add on top. This is actually the surprise I add on top. I have it in a bag. It's actually walnut parm. It's just walnuts, nutritional yeast, salt, fresh garlic, oregano, and parsley all blended up. It's Kimberly Snyder's recipe. I don't know if you follow her. She's really great vegan, plant-based, holistic nutritionist. She writes a lot of empowerment books, has a podcast. She's great. But I love putting this right on top because it gives the pasta this nice texture to break up the creaminess of the pasta. I put it on my mac and cheese as well too. It's delicious. So, all right guys, so I got the shiitake mushrooms and the broccoli cut up and broke that down a little bit into some smaller pieces. I got olive oil and salt on here. We're gonna air fry it. The broccoli will shrink along with the mushrooms, but that's okay. I do like mine a little on the well done side. It adds a nice crispiness to the veggies. You can cook it for as long as you feel you need to cook it for. So we're gonna put these in, and I like to get these started so they're done while I start prepping the tofu, and then I'll swap it out and put the tofu in once the veggies are done. We also have the pasta boiling here. It says 10 to 12 minutes on the box. I always do 11 right up the middle, and I always turn down the burner, but it's still kind of boiling over without the lid, and I can't wait. This is my absolute favorite pasta. Okay, so you can cut your tofu a bunch of different ways. I already drained it. I just like to cut it down this way first. And then what I like to do is I like to cut it in strips. It does fall apart a little bit. And then I pretty much like to then just cube it. I don't know why. I always cube my tofu. You could break it apart by hand. You could cut cut it in strips. I mean, pretty much do it any way you want. I just, for some reason, really love the cube style. Now it is breaking, and that's okay. So we're gonna put this into a metal bowl and then marinate with cornstarch and the buffalo sauce. All right, so we're just gonna do a little cornstarch, and that's just to crunch up the tofu. You can also do flour or xanthan gum, whichever of your choice. All right, so these just finished in the air fryer. They're nice and crispy. The pasta's done. I'm gonna add this to the pasta while we wait for the tofu to cook. Next, I just peeled some cloves of garlic. We're gonna dice them up and add them to our tahini mixture, which is already the lemon lime juice with tahini, the garlic. I'm gonna add salt and then water to thin it out. All right, so we have these sun-dried tomatoes here, and we're just gonna cut these up real quick for the pasta. Already have our tahini sauce here, and then I'm just gonna add these to the pasta here, and we'll stir that up. The veggies are already in here, and the tofu is almost done in the air fryer, and then we're just gonna assemble. Okay, so we're gonna add in the tahini sauce. I'm just gonna add it all. Can never have enough. And then we're gonna toss the pasta, and then we will plate. So let me just make sure this is all mixed in. So we have the mushrooms, the broccoli, and the sun-dried tomatoes in here with this penne. And then once we look like we have it mixed real well, we're gonna plate. So we're gonna do some of this penne pasta. Okay. There we go. And you can see the chunks of garlic in there, so this is gonna be really good. So if you're not familiar with tahini, it's actually pretty high in protein. 2 tablespoons has 7 grams. Plus we're about to add in this tofu, which will add in some more protein. And tahini's nice and high in fat, so you're gonna get your proteins, your fats, obviously the carbs from the pasta, and you're gonna get the creamy saltiness from the dish. But we also need a little acid. So after we add these walnut parm crumbs for that extra texture, my other secret is we're gonna add balsamic vinegar. And that's gonna give it a nice contrast between the salty and a little bit of a sweet, but it's got that acidic taste too from the vinegar. So that's it. So now all we have to do is eat. All right, so this is the final dish. And I'm just gonna take a bite of a little of everything. There we go. All right. Every time, it's absolutely delicious. You get that, it's making my mouth water. You get that spice from the garlic, the crunch from the veggies, the crunch from the walnut parm, and then that creaminess of the tahini. And then you get that acidic note on the end of the balsamic. It just plays so well with these flavors. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you liked what you saw. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, stay driven.